Hey folks, it's Joel Ellison with Pinnacle Mountain Gunsmithing. Today we're going to be continuing our shotgun series, and we're going to be looking at the Derya Arms Carina, and more specifically taking a look at Turkish shotguns in general. These have been coming onto the American market for some time, but let's go ahead and get the shameless self-promotion out of the way anyways. Alright, we have t-shirts available with or without cat hair. Nice and big with our logo. And we also have patches. You can put them on your pack. You can put them on your hat. You can even put them on your cat, depending on your cat's attitude. In any case, let's go ahead and get into the shotgun. Alright, today we have a pump action 12-gauge shotgun. It's made in Turkey by a company called Derya Arms, imported by our good friends at Rock Island Armory. It's a decent shotgun. For the price, it comes as a pretty nice setup. You get both an 18-inch barrel with a nice big front sight on it, as well as a longer bird gun hunting barrel. Ooh, that nice long ventilated rib with a front bead and replaceable chokes. All that for about $350. That's not a bad price. You also get a few little extra goodies in the box. Things like a pistol grip, which I honestly don't recommend those to people, but for a lot of reasons, as well as three chokes, choke wrench, and the obligatory 3-round plug for shotgun barrels. And for shotgun magazines, I mean, sorry, not barrels, magazines. But in any case, let's take a look at this. If you squint really hard, it looks a lot like a Remington 870, but I don't think any parts interchange on it between this and a Remington 870, just be perfectly frank with you. The forend does have a nice grasping surface, as well as a little Picatinny out there to put a light or whatever you want on it, I guess. The action seems pretty robust. Not the smoothest action I've ever held in my hands, but it should get the job done. This particular one, it kind of disassembles like a Remington 870. We'll get into that here in a sec. In any case, let's go ahead and get this taken apart. Speaking of which, alright, first step in disassembly, of course, rag the action back. Very similar manual of arms to a Remington. You have your safety back here, just a little push button, and you have your slide release right there in front of the trigger guard. Sorry, if I sometimes reach for the back of the trigger guard, sometimes it's because I'm used to a Mossberg, honestly. But yeah, the first step is to open the action, make sure it's not loaded. Nothing in the chamber, nothing in the tube, both visually and tactilely confirm that. Alright, we have a cap up here at the top of the magazine. And yes, it ratchets a little bit for the first couple of threads. And yes, now Powder wants to join us. Hello. Hello. Hello, girl. Yes. I know. Excuse me, girl. Sorry. She'll go away when we start the next step of disassembly with the action open. I usually have to give this a little encouragement to get the barrel to start moving. This is a wooden mallet, by the way. I'm not hitting it that hard. I'm hitting the top of the magazine tube, not the barrel. Don't do that. Or you can just bang it against the corner of a table. Once it gets to this point, I can usually wiggle it enough to get the barrel out. And we can see, first off, that this is a very long barrel extension and does not at all interface with a Remington, Mossberg, or is interchangeable with either one. I do see that the reason why it's so this long is so they can include the ejector in the barrel. Yeah, that little nubbin right there, that's your ejector. That's all you get. We also see the locking surface, very similar to a Remington 870, but not quite the same. Also just a single large extractor on the side there. That in Rock Island putting their name on it. Right there, just laser engraved. That's it. That's the short security barrel is just 18.5 inches, just pretty standard. Now, something I do like about this is that it's a little easier to get the bolt out than a Remington. Just slide forward, the whole bolt, and bolt carrier, and the actual grasping pump comes with it. All right, we can see our bolt here, and it just locks up against the surface there, and boop, that causes our locking block to rise when it's brought into battery. Yep, and that just goes like that, and that's our bolt carrier, and it's just got that little spring-loaded thing there for it. That's it. This is all one piece. Theoretically, you could take the action bars out and maybe replace it, but I honestly wouldn't. But yeah, here's our action. Let me actually reposition the camera slightly, and I'll be right back. Stand by. All right, here we are. For our next step of disassembly, we can take out the trigger group, and that's just these two pins. Very similar to a Remington. I need a punch and a few light mallet taps to get that out. Your mileage may vary, which is another point with Turkish shotguns. There's a lot of variation, both in terms of operation, companies, brands, features, quality, etc., ad nauseum, ad infinitum. I can quite get all the way up. There we go. Yeah, and wiggle, wiggle. And here we have the fire control group. Now, if you're squinting real hard, you can kind of make out some features that make it kind of 870-ish. Okay, there's a bolt release. That's pretty normal. There is our shell lifter and its mechanism. There's our hammer. And so we take the safety off, we can kind of make the hammer go. And we got a disconnector there in the back. And yeah, it disconnects. I kind of got that double forked disconnector and sear arrangement, kind of like M1 Garand, or also kind of like AK-47. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Both of these pins are the same size, absolutely interchangeable. They've kind of got those grooves in there so that the retaining springs kind of catch on it whichever way it's inserted. It doesn't matter. Both of these are the same size, unlike an 870, which has one pin a different size than the other for whatever reason. That does make these totally not interchangeable with Remington 870 fire control groups, so yeah, you're kind of out of luck there. But this whole package comes in at less than the cost of a basic 870, so, you know, you get what you pay for. Now, if you do want to disassemble it further, say to change out the buttstock, this is just very hollow plastic. There is one screw down here at the base. Right, see if I can get in the shot there, right there. That looks like a Phillips head screw, but it is actually the PZ style of screw. If you use a Phillips head screwdriver, it will strip the head out, and then you'll never get it out. And then you have to take it to someone like me who has to fuss and cuss and struggle with it. But yeah, it does come with a nice pistol grip. This is rubberized. This actually feels decent. I generally don't recommend these for use by most people who own these shotguns, especially if this is your first time using one. Yeah, don't use these. Just throw it in the trash. But if you're a police officer using low recoil ammunition, it's viable. But if you're anyone else, just don't. In any case, the recoil pad is actually pretty nice. It's relatively thick, quite firm, should last for a good number of years. There's actually a cheek piece on this. The receiver is nice in that it has kind of a built-in little notch there to put your either front sight or front bead kind of in that general vicinity, which is really all you need to aim a shotgun. But yeah, the follower in this shotgun is also actually a little bit of an upgrade from standard. This is actually anodized red aluminum, so it's a little more visible than just say black plastic in a black tube, kind of in this recess under the gun in the dark, which, you know, it's not terrible. All right, let's also take a look at markings. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the first part of that, but the part I can read is Derya Arms, Turkey. And if we flip her around, on the other side, 12 gauge, 3-inch chamber, proof tested Carina, which I'm assuming that's the model number or model name. And of course, Rock Island has laser engraved their little logo. But yeah, that's it. It's pretty simple. I'll get it back together and I'll give you some final thoughts. Hey folks, I ran into one quick note for reassembly. When you are putting the bolt back onto the bolt carrier, it's possible to put it on there like this. Did you see what happened? This little spring-loaded plunger kind of missed the back of the bolt there. If you do that, then it won't go in quite right. Got to make sure that it's kind of tilted forward. Put it on there, and boom. Just kind of check there, make sure it springs back forward like it should. That way you have good functioning of the locking block, which is important, especially in 12 gauge. Alright, I'll see you in a sec. Stand by. Alright folks, we have the shotgun back together, but let me show you the choke setup here. We have a nice little box where the chokes come in. We have a cylinder choke, modified, and full choke. I'm going to show you how these go in and out. We have threads at the top of the choke. When you are putting in chokes, I recommend you grease them, just so that you can get them back out later when it's maybe seized up from carbon or rusted or whatever happens, you know. It can be very difficult, if not impossible, to remove, and then you have to take it to a gunsmith like me. In any case, it comes with this neat little choke wrench, and we have these little notches, and we can slide that in there and twist, and this comes right out. Once you break it loose, you can generally get it out with fingers if it's either been greased or, you know, not shot. These don't seem to be interchangeable with Mossberg or with Remington chokes. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And you can screw it down, and eventually you'll need the wrench just to tighten her down. I did have someone ask me the other day, could you shoot a shotgun without a choke in it that's supposed to have removable chokes? Well, technically yes. Could you potentially mess up these teeny tiny itsy bitsy little threads? Yes, absolutely you could. So I don't really recommend it. But yeah, or if you don't want to choke at all, just use cylinder choke. That's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, cylinder choke, generally speaking, for for slugs and buckshot, and everything else is just for birdshot. Well, in any case, let's talk about Turkish shotguns in general and how they've gotten onto the U.S. market. In recent years, like the last 5 or 10, I've noticed a lot of Turkish shotguns and Turkish guns in general coming into the U.S. market. They're usually quite affordably priced. Some of them are quite good. Others are kind of... in any case, as always with buying guns, caveat emptor, buyer beware. And yeah, just pick something that works for your needs. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, oh, you absolutely have to pay at least $500 for a shotgun. No. You can pay as little as $200 and get a decent pump action shotgun. But it is imperative on you to test and also to train with your gear. If you don't train with it, it's not going to matter when the chips are down and you really need to use it. In any case, is this the right shotgun for you? Maybe. In any case, it's also going to be for sale. Going to be at the next gun show in Greenville, Greenville Convention Center, December 21st and 22nd. If you want to meet the crew, pretty much just me and my wife, then you can come and see us there. If you just want to buy a patch, buy a shirt, want to buy one of the other guns we have for sale, then feel free. We'll be ready for you. In any case, until next time, I'll see you. This has been Joel Ellison with Pinnacle Mountain Gunsmithing. If you want to support us directly, you can go to our website, pinnaclemountaingunsmithing.com, and we'll be happy to make an appointment. Until next time, we'll see you. Bye.